A Pickmeisha is literally more selfish than a gold digger because she is sacrificing herself, her standards, her kids' future, and all the damage, and her self-esteem, and her time for the approval of some dust.
Pickmeisha doesn't know her value and puts a man before herself and her kids and her future generations and her common sense. Dumb, right? So if you love a man more than you love yourself, so sorry for you.
A Pickmeisha is a woman that will do anything just to have a man, even if it's a broke, dusty man. Okay? That means she'll take care of him, pay for him, treat him like a child. Just say she has a man. And she has low standards because she doesn't require much of him. That's a Pickmeisha. Like, pick me. I just need a man to say I got a man. I don't need you to be this. I don't need you to be a provider, all that. That's what a Pickmeisha is. She'll just take anything. Okay?
Pick-me chicks are the type of chicks that men don't want unless they need something from you, you know? They're not the kind of chicks that men will chase after, run after, do nice things for. You know, these are the type of chicks that take men shopping. These are the type of chicks that are just happy they have a man, so they'll do and put up with anything and let him cheat. They'll have, you know, they'll do all these things to try to keep this man, and it never works out, you know, because if you have to do all of that, that means he really doesn't want you. And then at the end of the day, you're upset and mad because you did all this stuff and you can't believe he did this to you.
Pickmeisha is a girl that puts men before herself, doesn't value herself, will do anything to keep a man, misses a man that does nothing for her. She cares more about a man than she cares about her own self. If a man isn't doing anything for you, why are you connecting with him emotionally? You know, are you just, you need an emotional support animal is what you need. You need a cat, you need a dog, you need someone to talk to and give your energy to, besides a man that doesn't want to give you anything. Okay? You're a very nice, nurturing person, but you need someone that is deserving to give that energy to. And the man is not deserving. He's not doing anything for you. So get you an emotional support pit, buy it some nice clothes, give it some food, give it some water, cuddle with it. And then maybe you won't miss these dusties that aren't doing anything for you. Okay? Because some of y'all, you know, maybe you don't have kids yet. Maybe you need a pet. Your motherly instinct, your nurturing instinct does not need to be wasted on dust that's not paying no bills or giving you anything. Okay? Wonderful. Start knowing your value and stop wasting your time. Because that's all they're doing is wasting your time. Wasting your time, wasting your energy, making you look like a fool. And you keep running back looking like a fool to them, talking about, I miss them. They don't miss you, ma'am. That's how men date. They say, okay, well, I'm broke right now, so I can't date the type of woman I really want. So I'm going to date this type of woman, aka Pickmeisha, and she's going to give me food and shelter until I meet the type of woman I really want. This is how these guys plan out their entire lives. That's why eventually you see them go off and marry the next chick after they're able to pay or provide or at least do more than they were doing for you.
What is a pick me? It's a chick that begs to be picked by a man by saying, I will pay half the bills, I will cook, clean, be your maid, do whatever you say, go to work 40 hours a day, raise kids, and we're going to build together. Who's mostly the same age. Okay, it's someone who basically is a 50-50 partner, not a wife, not a girlfriend, but a 50-50 partner. If you are a 50-50 partner, you are not a wife. Okay? Because in nowhere in those wedding vows does it say that you need to go out and pay half these bills. It's not a slave, actually. You know why? If you have money and you're driven and your career keeps rising because of the woman you're with, you're a boss.
Pickmeisha's goal is just a man. Our goal is a provider. She want a man and we want providers. But the problem is the men that Pickmeisha wants, the men that Pickmeisha pays for, they don't want her, and they're always trying to come over here and trying to make us live up to the standards, well, live down or lower our standards to that of Pickmeisha. So Pickmeisha's over here cooking, cleaning, scrubbing, paying for stuff, offering stuff, bringing stuff to the table. And so this Dustin got his ego and his pride all up, thinking that every woman is like Pickmeisha. And then he faces the sad reality when a woman doesn't want to do any of those things because she's not supposed to, unless she chooses to, for a provider man. Y'all are taking these men and emasculating them and then putting them back out into the world, and they're walking around in their soft boy era because Pickmeishas took care of them, spoiled them, but they don't want Pickmeisha no more. So they're out here looking stupid, asking women with high values because Pickmeisha messed them up. You know what I'm saying? So y'all need to go back to Pickmeisha. She paid for y'all. She's invested in y'all. Y'all need to go back to Pickmeisha. Go ahead and stay over there where you're worshipped like the Dusty that you are. Stay over there. Don't think we have the same goals. Don't think we think the same way as Pickmeisha, because we don't. Pickmeisha is a temporary state until they wake up and see that you don't really want them and that they can do better if they invest that money and that time and that energy into themselves to where they can actually go and get a provider.
The majority of women are pick-me's. 98% of women that you'll meet in real life are fucking Pickmeisha senior. And the irony about it is, every pick-me I know is in some of the worst relationships or situationships than you will ever fucking hear in your life. Like, these bitches go through Tyler Perry shit with these men. And it don't matter what she do. Because you know Pickmeisha, she gonna put the car in her name for the man. She gonna give the man unlimited amounts of money. He's staying with her rent-free. She's accepting all of his infidelity. She's fighting other women over this nigga. Like, pick-me women do the most and get the least. I have a video on here right now that has like 500,000 views, and it's talking about how to get a good man, you have to hate men. And contrary to belief, y'all can argue with me. I'd love to see you do it. I have never, ever seen a pick-me in a fucking relationship that I would want. All the women that are actually in relationships worth having are the man-hating bitches. They are. But that's why it's so hard for me to feel bad when Pickmeisha is going through it, because it's like, no matter how bad these men treat her, Pickmeisha always has space, time, availability, and money for this man. Pickmeisha will always have judgment for you. She will always be able to show you how rude and nasty and mean she can get. She will never show that to that goddamn man who deserves it. Like, it's really, really ironic the ways that these pick-me women are treated, and then the way that they turn around and treat other women. But yeah, anyway, like I said, 98% of women, majority of the women are fucking pick-me's. That's why majority of men ain't shit. It tracks.
Hi, Sheer 7, I'm back. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about women who are too available. Women who are over available. Women who invite themselves. Women who text first. Women who make the first move. Women who take the role of, you know, initiating things. Okay, as y'all probably already know, I don't believe in it. I say don't do it. It's not worth it. And the reason I say it's not worth it is because if you initiate things, if you're the one always calling, texting, making plans, being available whenever they call, answering on the first 5 seconds that they text you, and this and that, you're too available and you become boring and old news quickly. Okay, you're not a challenge, and men like challenges, believe it or not. They like easy women too, but after they're finished using those easy women, then they remember that girl that's a challenge, and then they go, I'm gonna go for her next because I still can't get her. I've got this girl, this girl, this girl, because they were easy. But the one I really want, I can't even get. You know, she doesn't pay me any mind. She doesn't text me back. You know, why? So they're going to go all out for that girl. They're going to be like, what does she want? What do I have to do? What's a funny joke I can text her? Maybe she'll text back if I make her laugh. You know, they're going through all this stuff in their mind. Oh, she won't go out with me. I tried to invite her to the nicest restaurant. She doesn't like that kind of food. So now they have to actually think and invest time in what does this girl like, you know. They need to pay attention to you. You know, if they watch you online, they need to pay attention to what kind of food you post, the places you like to go. So they can say, oh, hey, do you want to go out to such and such place? And hey, if that's your favorite place, you might just say yes. So they have to actually work, put in effort, and get to know you, spend time researching you,
and you're a challenge. And once you get something that you have worked very hard for, it's not so easy to let go, because you've spent time, money, effort. You become emotionally invested in trying to get this person. Okay, so ladies, if you're answering on the first ring, if you're texting back without, you know, thinking and texting back in the same minute, if you're saying yes to everything he asks you, if you tell him your whole life story and there's no mystery to you, he's gonna get bored of you quick. Okay, you have to always stay a challenge and change it up. When he figures out what you like, stop liking it and start liking something else. So then it's more of a challenge. I'm trying to tell you, I've been married for a long time and with the same person forever, and he still don't know. Every day, you know, every 2 weeks I change. You got to keep up. You got to pay attention. You got to get it together, because when you're constantly challenged in life, you're always improving as well. So you're also making this person a better man. Like, you're making them more attentive. You're making them more thoughtful. You're making them more considerate. So these are all the qualities you want in a man anyway, right? So if they have to do all these things to impress you because you're batting down everything that comes from them, and they have to keep trying harder, and after they go off, like a lot of women, this is where a lot of women mess up. They'll get jealous if the guy stops paying them attention for a little while, but they'll be right back as soon as they find the easy girl, get what they want from her, get bored of her, and then they'll be right back to you because they could never get you. That's not what they wanted. They thought it would help them or satisfy them, but it was too easy, too blah, and they're still thinking about you while they're with them. They're like, dang, how come it was so easy to get this girl, but I couldn't get that one? You know, now they're insulted. Now they're like, dang, well, why didn't she want me? I'm not good enough for her or something. So they're gonna go ahead and leave the easy girl, not call her back, ghost her out, and go back to the girl who challenged them. This is the type of women men marry, women who challenge them. Okay, I promise you. If you're not challenged, if somebody doesn't have to work hard for you, if somebody doesn't have to go out of their way for you, they're probably not the type of person that wants to marry you. Okay, because you can even trick a man into being like this over you if they probably weren't going to be this way over you anyway. It's mind games. All is mental, you guys. So you might have like a situation where you're dating a guy and he keeps going back to the same girl, and she's like not all that, but she doesn't take any of his crap. She tells him off. She says no. It's because men like challenges. Okay, she doesn't do everything you do. She doesn't do this. She doesn't support him. She doesn't support his dreams, because she knows some of them dreams are stupid, and that this is the real world, and in order to be with me, you need to have this, and that, you know. So, you know, while the easy, convenient woman will do all this, and that for the guy, he knows in the back of his mind that's not going to make him into a better man. Subconsciously, he knows that it's not going to help him. He knows this other girl over here is wife material, and what she says will make him a better man, will push him into his greatness. She's not settling for mediocre. He can't stay the same average dude and be with her. He has to step up his game to be with her. So in the back of his mind, he's like, okay, well, whoever she ends up with is going to be better than me, and I can't have that. So if I really want this girl, I got to become better, or I got to do better. And so he'll leave the easy girl who did everything for him in his mediocrity and go for this girl who wouldn't settle for it. Okay, and by the time he gets this girl, he's going to be a better man. He's going to have stepped up his game, done A, B, C, and D, whatever it took to get her, and he's going to be a changed person. He's going to be doing things for her that he would never think of doing for you. Okay, he's going to be buying her gifts when you never even got a birthday gift. Okay, why? Because men like challenges. And if you fear losing a man because you don't want to do what they want to do, then that's part of not being able to play the game. Okay, you're afraid to play. You're afraid to play because you fear losing. And if you fear losing, then that means you don't think you're good enough or you're worth it. You know, there's two types of women. The ones who know exactly what they want and how to get it. The ones who don't know what they want and don't know how to get it. Okay, there's nice women and there's women who are challenges. Which one gets wifed up? Which one has the better lifestyle? Which one has what they want in life? The woman who challenges. Okay, a man can get a woman like this just like a woman can get a man like that, to sleep with them, to do whatever, but they cannot get someone to commit to them and marry them unless they blow their mind, feel like there's no replacement, I can't do any better than this is it. Okay, you can't get those feelings with a woman that's going to do everything you ask, when you ask, how you ask, because you're going to get bored. You're like, okay, well, thank you. You know, guys get bored, and they want the woman who won't do stuff like that for them because it's a challenge. Okay, so guys, I know guys are going to chime in and say, no, that's just not true, you're giving good. It is true. Okay, it is true. You know why? Because when you have a good girl and she does everything right, you're always looking at the girl out the side of your eye
and wondering about her and wondering why she's not paying attention to you and wondering if you could have got her if you didn't have her. And then she ignores you because you're not her type. Now you're more intrigued with this type of person. Now you're looking at her. Why? Because guys are never satisfied in a situation where everything is freely given. If you're worried about your woman leaving you and if she's gonna fuss and fight with you tonight, or if what you got her for her birthday was good enough, you won't have time to be looking over here at this chick. If you're worried about if you're gonna get something tonight from your woman, or if you picked out the right flowers or whatever, and if she's gonna be happy with where you taking her for dinner tonight because she's crazy, you're not gonna be looking at this girl over here, because you're gonna be too worried about this girl. Okay, when your attention and focus is on a challenge, you don't have time to look at other stuff. Okay, you're focused on the challenge. So women, if you're too easy, if you're too nice, if you're too gullible, if you're too this and you're too that, chances are you're probably gonna be ditched, ghost, and by these guys. And they're going to keep going back to the one woman who don't want nothing to do with them and who's really probably just playing the game. Sometimes women do have a plan and they're like, well, I want him to do A, B, C, and D before I even go on a date with him. He has to get this, he has to get that, he has to get this, he has to get that. And so some of these men will work months just to get one date with a woman. They'll be like, dang. The woman will keep it friendly. They'll keep them in the friend zone. And they'll kind of tease them a little bit, like, oh yeah, when you get that convertible, call me, I want to ride. These might seem like gold diggers, but these are techniques that women do to get the type of men that they really want. Oh yeah, when you get your new car, give me a ride, I see you. And those guys will call those girls when they get the new car. They're like, oh, come take a ride with me. They'll scoop her up before they even tell you they bought a new car. You won't even know they bought a new car until you see them driving it. Okay, so I'm just being honest and I'm being real. I know it's so funny, a lot of guys have flipped the script these days, and what about love? And y'all didn't care about love 5-10 years ago. Y'all really don't care about love when y'all are trying to date anyway. Okay, what it's about is getting what you want, getting the type of person you want in your life, compatible, the person that's going to treat you right, do nice things for you, and who you want to be around, who's not going to bore you. Okay, dating is supposed to be exciting and fun and keep you on your toes all the time. It's not supposed to be predictable, boring, and bland. Okay, which is what happens when the person is too easy. Okay, that's why they get dumped quick. So y'all keep it interesting, fun, switch it up, be a challenge to these guys, because that's what they really like. They're gonna say otherwise because they want to get in with easy real quick. But as soon as they're finished with that person, they're on back to the challenging woman. And one day they're gonna get one because they're gonna know the game so good. They're gonna figure it out, but they're not gonna settle with one of these easy women. They're always gonna go for the ones that they could never get. Okay, and if you don't believe me, look at all the celebrities who dated these type of women, the good, the ride or die, and as soon as they blew up and got famous because they couldn't get these type of challenging chicks, that's what they go straight to. Okay, so I'll leave y'all with that. Peace. I'll see y'all later. Bye.
Pickmeishas will die for their dusty. That's why they call them ride or die, because they will jump in front of a stray bullet for their dusty. Okay, because that's their child. And a man, not these days, not no dusty, is not. They'll use you as the shield, baby. So think about it. They'll catch the case for their dust. I know they'll be in prison. Well, I ain't gonna snitch on my dusty. And wonder why they don't get any respect from their dusty.
And stop begging men to act right. If you've ever been a woman that's literally begged a man to do right, to act right, to straighten up his ways, you are also a pickmeisha. Let me tell you why. You don't need to beg no man to act right. You just need to act just as wrong as they do. Okay? Because men don't learn when a woman speaks to them. They don't want to do what you ask them. They don't want to do what you say. They don't care about your feelings, but they care about their feelings. And when their feelings get hurt because you're doing the same thing to them, then they may pay attention. So, and you don't have to tell them nothing. Let them figure it out. Let them assume. Let them think the worst, and don't tell them a thing. Okay? Because I'm going to tell y'all something. Men don't care about your feelings. They care about their feelings. So if you want them to care about your feelings, make sure they're feeling what you're feeling. Okay? Sprinkle. I've told y'all this before. The best way to get a man to act right is to act wrong. Act wrong, baby. Do exactly what they do, or maybe worse, but don't tell them a thing. And see, you're going to be so good at doing what they do, because women do this stuff way better. They're not even going to know what to do. Okay? The best way to get a man to act right is for you to act wrong. You're just too needy. Go get a pet.
Think about this. Let's reverse it and talk about Pickmeisha now, a desperate woman who wants an attractive man. The man doesn't really have to get to know that woman if she's ugly and desperate, right? This is what most guys do. They find someone ugly and desperate, and they do whatever they want, literally. Now, if a man is looking for somebody who they're compatible with, and then they go find someone that has a lot of, say, oh, I don't do this and I don't do that, but da 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 da, it's going to be harder for him to date her and get what he wants out of it. Then he's literally going to have to do more. So a lot of times what these guys do is they go date a Pickmeisha to get what they want, and then they have a side chick that has standards. And if the side chick has standards, it's easy to meet those standards on Pickmeisha's money. You see what I'm saying? Sprinkle, sprinkle. So you all need to be doing the same thing.
The worst type of woman on earth is to pick me, get me, I'll take you. You don't have to have a job. You don't have to have a car. You don't have to have a house. You can have back child support. Pick me. These are the worst type of females because they'll tell you just because you have a man laying next to you that goes to work but can't pay all your bills, can't help you with mortgage, can't pay the car note is a good man to them because no one really wants them. And they're happy just to have a man laying next to them. They don't care if the man's cursing them out. They don't care if the man is mentally abusing them. They don't care if the man's constantly cheating on them. See, these are the pick-me's. These are the type of women that go against women that have high confidence. If you say, no, I'm not taking no man that can't take care of me. I'm not taking no man that can't respect me. I'm not taking care of him. I can't get with a man that's gonna be on a certain level. I can't get with a man that I gotta take him. Let's shoot, I'll take him. I'll take him. I'll pay his child support. I'll pay his car insurance. Those are the pick-me's, the worst type of females. And weak men love them. They be all in the comment section. I don't know why you keep picking on the man. The weak men be like, yeah, tell him, sister. You are 100. No, you're not. You're both bums. Both in the dusty bum boat going to the bum boat island. You guys are not deserving of nothing but each other. A bum plus a bum to make a bunch of little bums. All praises due.
Y'all don't understand, especially older men and men who are used to Pickmeishas, they can see you a mile away. They can just look at you and they can say, I bet I can get her to do A, B, C, and D. Just by how you dress, by how you carry yourself, by how you walk, they can automatically tell she's desperate, she's a Pickmeisha. If I walk up to her, I can get her number. And after a few conversations, I can get her to pay for stuff. They can tell, they know who to go up to and talk to. They already know. It's just too obvious with how women care for themselves and take care of themselves. There are women that they can say, oh my gosh, I can't approach her. She's never going to fall for the okie doke. She knows her value. And they're never going to approach you with that mess.
Men don't like pick-me's. They hate them. Yes, it's your internet big sister here, and I'm going to give you the advice you never got. Men do not like pick-me's. Contrary to belief, that's why a lot of them go through bullshit or are single. Men like to be men. Men like to be held accountable, and men like to work for things. Pickmeisha does not allow a man to do any of that. But the way that she does it, she thinks that he's going to value her for these things, right? Women have to realize that men are so much more logical thinkers than we give them credit for. So when you're accepting bad treatment from a man over and over again, and you're thinking that, oh my God, he's looking at me like I'm loyal, that man is calling you more stupid bitches than we are. That man is looking at you like, oh, she's dumb. She'll accept anything. She has no standards. And men are so sinister, they start to think about who else has she been this stupid for and how easy it will be for you to be dumb for the next man. Men also like to work for things. So women that go out and buy men everything and give them everything, it makes the man resent you because men like to work for shit. I don't care who he is, and not saying that he's gonna turn it down, because who would? I'm not turning down nothing either. The fuck? But as a man, he wants to feel like he was able to work for something and get it. He's not gonna want to feel like it came from the help of a woman. Men also like to be held accountable, and this is something that women just cannot seem to understand. But where do you think the one that got away, that term came from? Men are always in love or thinking of the one that got away because that is the woman that walked and held his ass accountable. Men like to be held accountable. They're men. The first part of being an adult man or woman is accountability, right? So when you're when you're making excuses for a grown ass person about why they did something or how they're unable to do this, you're now treating them like a child. And they hate that. And the funny thing is, men are so like literal and logical that they are so much harsher on pick-me's than women could ever be. That is the stupid bitch that they're always talking about to their niggas and how dumb she can be for them. So I don't even want to make this too long, but I had to reply to this comment because it is so true. Men hate pick-me's. They hate them.
So many years ago, I used to be Pickmeisha. If you looked up the word Pickmeisha, my picture would pop up. I've tried really hard. I've done pretty much anything under the sun trying to get picked, and I never got picked. So let me tell you the things that I did, okay? Maybe it will wake someone up. Yeah, let's go. I dated this producer, a producer who never produced anything. He used to sit in his apartment all day long doing something, I don't know what. So one time I told him, I said, I'm going to my second job interview. I don't have a car yet and I need to take a bus. Can I borrow $5? $5. He said, I mean, I don't really lend money to my friends and family, you know. Anyway, I was okay with him not helping me out with anything at all, okay? I was okay with it. But when I stopped helping him paying his bills and paying his rent, he stopped talking to me. So I dated this guy for 6 months. He always told me that he's not interested in anything serious. And I was like, you know what? You bet. I'll win you over. And every time I would go to his place, I would find used up, you know what, in the trash can. Or I would see wine glasses laying out in the open with a lipstick on it. Very open disrespect. I ignored it. I never said anything. Later, in 6 months, he tells me that he's been interested in this girl who had a boyfriend, but she apparently broke up with him. So now she's available and he set up a date with her. Yeah. And of course, he stopped talking to me. So this guy that I dated, he always wanted to go to this specific restaurant/bar. And he never wanted to hold hands with me or look romantic, so we always looked like we were friends. So one time we went there, and then I started talking to a bartender girl while he was in the bathroom. So she tells me, hey, is he your friend? Because he's so creepy. He comes here for like a couple times a week, and he's always trying to get my phone number. He's been bothering me for like 6 months. And I confronted him about it. I asked him and he said, yeah, I've been crushing on her for 6 months and I'm just bringing you here so that she gets jealous, but otherwise I'm interested in her only. Or this guy. He asked me to come to his place and he's gonna cook for me for a third date. So I went there and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna impress him, I'm gonna audition for his love. So I ended up offering to cook. And then I cleaned all the dishes. And then I saw things laying around, so I cleaned up. And then I saw his laundry laying around, so I folded. And I was like, dang, this is it, man. He is gonna be so in love with me. Guess what? He ghosted me. He ghosted me. So I've tried everything. I tried to pay all the bills. I tried to do all the chores, cleaning, cooking, doing laundry, etc. I tried to be open-minded, let him date other people. I tried to change my style, my hair, my everything. And guess what? Yeah, you guessed it. Nothing worked. Nothing worked. Because apparently, what I learned from all of this experience is that if you don't put yourself first, if you don't respect yourself, if you don't love yourself, no one truly wants you. No one wants a desperate begging woman. Okay? Anyway, so when people smell that desperate energy, when they can smell that you have low self-esteem, that you don't love yourself, you have no confidence, people don't like it. They might use you here and there for something, but truly, they don't want you, you know? So I'll keep repeating again and again and again. Before dating, before anything, work on yourself. Know your value. Love yourself first. Give that love to yourself first, yeah? Anyway, okay, bye.